So, Jonathan, thank you very much for coming here today.
Thank you.
I hope this coaching session will somehow turn out to be useful for you. In a minute I'm going to ask you how it could turn out useful, but beforehand, to give me an idea what you do, what kind of work you do, and how you spend your day, that might be helpful, just a tiny bit.
Well, I'm the manager of a theater company, a small theater company.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm the one person on our staff, so I have a lot of responsibilities keeping that up. And I founded the theater company myself with two other people 10 years ago.
Okay, okay.
So I put on live plays.
And being the founder and manager of a theater company, how do you spend your day?
I'd like to spend my day picking plays and producing plays, but I spend a lot of my time raising money and doing a lot of administrative tasks that go along with running a business.
Right. So it's not always easy, right?
No, it is rarely easy.
Rarely easy.
Yeah.
And still you have this smile on your face as if you enjoyed what you were doing.
I do.
Okay.
I'm really very fortunate to be able to live and work in the field that I have, and have a family and things like that.
Oh, you have a family too?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm married and have a 2-year-old daughter. So.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Dorothea.
Dorothea. Okay. Is she into acting already?
I think she may.
Okay. Okay. First small signs?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, I guess I'm wondering, what would need to happen here in this coaching session today that would be really useful for you? So you should go back home and say, well, this has been truly useful and helpful for me.
Well, one of the things that I experience on a daily basis because of being the founder of a company like mine, it's a small kind of progressive company, is that it was founded 10 years ago with a very carefree attitude, and it's hard sometimes for people to take me serious with the work that I do. So I guess maybe something that I would like to understand more is how I can affect more of a serious attitude upon people, and how people take me a little bit more serious in my business dealings with them.
Oh, okay. So that seems something important.
Yes, it does, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I don't know how we're going to get there. Suppose somehow we manage.
I've been trying for 10 years.
Oh, you've been trying? Oh, so okay. All right. Suppose somehow we manage to get closer, one tiny little step closer to that goal. And you walk out of this coaching session. How would that make a difference?
I think that I would feel more confident about taking some more risks, of being more assertive in what I want for the future of my business and the future of our company.
Okay. And as a consequence of that assertiveness, what kinds of things would I see you do that you're not yet doing now?
I would pursue some of our bigger ideas a little bit more proactively.
Okay.
I would change the direction of our company a little bit more, a little bit faster than we are right now. And I would start to feel more confident about asking more people to support our cause.
Oh, okay. I see. Any other things that might be useful we can do today?
I think I would be able to leave my job at my office a little bit more rather than take it home as much as I do.
Yep. So your little daughter might notice?
Right.
Oh, okay.
My wife, too.
Oh, your wife, too?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What else could be useful for you this session?
I think just a concentrated time to actually think about this issue rather than taking just these furtive stabs at it when a moment or two appears and pops up, and I guess really concentrating on a problem that that I and others have felt, but only feel in kind of a nebulous way, and I'm starting to understand it more.
Okay, okay. So what could be a positive effect of the two of us talking and you having this time to stay with it and develop some ideas?
I think a positive effect is that people would start to take me a little bit more seriously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's how that links in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you've mentioned several things, and the central thing being people taking you more seriously and you behaving differently. So, which part do you think should we start with? If we pick out one thing and start developing from there?
Probably the part of people taking me more seriously.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I imagine being a considerate person you seem to be, must have given it some thought. Maybe you've tried some things already. Out of things that you've tried for this to happen, which has been working best so far?
I think persistence has been working best. That when I've seen something that I've wanted for myself and my business and my company, I have just been dogged about going after it. And then I can only think of a couple of different instances where I have, and I've had to kind of put aside feelings of people not reacting well to my persistence, or being annoyed by my persistence. So, but in the final analysis, I've always felt good about my persistence.
Okay.
Even if I haven't achieved what I've completely set out to do, I know that I've been able to kind of go to bed at night and say, well, I gave it my best shot.
Oh,
least,
okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So that's a way how you were happy about some of the things that you did. Okay. You mentioned you're working with 2 colleagues, right? How would they notice if this being more persistent, this being more others taking you more seriously? How would they notice?
I probably wouldn't call them once a month and tell them that I was quitting.
Oh.
So I would probably end that practice. And,
okay. So you'd end that practice, and what would you be doing instead with them?
I'd be planning for the future and planning for the next, rather than the next day, the next year, 2, 3, 4, or 5 years to come.
And if you were to do that, and if you were to call them, well, what would you be telling them then? And what would you be talking about?
I'd be enthusiastic about the direction that we're headed, rather than burdened by the daily grind of what we're doing.
Okay.
And I'd have renewed excitement about the work that we do. The same excitement that actually our patrons have about the work we do. Somewhere along the line, I've just kind of forgotten that because it's become more of a job for me. So.
And somehow you remember that it used to be there?
Yeah.
And you notice it when other people show it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that'd be more of that? Well, then maybe let me ask you a somewhat strange question. Takes a little bit of imagination. Imagine being a founder of a theater company. Might be some imagination. Do you have a little imagination?
Sure.
Okay. And the strange question goes like this. Suppose, Jonathan, the two of us talk here today. You go back to your work, do whatever's on the plan, maybe for lunch today or for during the afternoon, and then eventually it's time to go home, I suppose. Do what you do with the family, and maybe play a little with the daughter or not. And then throughout the rest of the evening, I don't know what your plans are for tonight, but you do whatever's planned for tonight. And then eventually you'll get tired and go to bed and fall asleep tonight. And while you're asleep, the house is very quiet. There's this miracle happening just like that. The miracle being that some of these issues that we've been starting to talk about are solved. Okay, I mean, I'm talking about a real miracle, okay? And of course you're sound asleep, so you have no ways of knowing that this miracle has happened. And nobody is telling you, even tomorrow morning when you wake up, right? So as you start into the day tomorrow morning after the miracle, how will you go about discovering that, hey, Jonathan, somehow this miracle has happened? How will you go discovering?
Well, I will wake up and I will notice right away that I will more firmly and more committedly be able to make decisions.
Okay, so one thing, I might come back to that one. How else?
I'll look forward to going to the place that I work.
Okay.
I won't have a little lingering sense of dread.
Okay.
And I will notice that right away, that I'm actually excited about what I do from the moment I get up in the morning.
Okay.
So, and I will, I'll know that I will just have a full day of work, but it will end when I leave my office. And I won't, and I'll have this feeling that when I'm home, I can be home.
Oh, okay. So there's three things that you've mentioned already. Want to start with the first? Have a closer look. So you said you'll feel this difference about how to make decisions. How will you start discovering that the morning after the miracle? What will be the first sign that will tell you, ooh, something with my way of taking decisions must have miraculously changed overnight?
Well, whatever decision might be in front of me that day, I will weigh it and make a decision and move on and not linger upon it, believing that it's the biggest decision of my life.
Oh, okay.
Only to be taken up by the next biggest decision of my life. So.
Okay, so be this sense of continuity of big decisions. Okay. Do you have an idea how you will notice? I see the difference. What will you be thinking differently? What will you be doing differently? How will you catch yourself doing this differently?
I think the thing that will make me notice it is that I will have a decision in front of me that I need to make. I'll read what I need to read or think about what I need to think, and make the decision and call someone about that decision. And then I'll notice, oh wow, I'm moving forward.
Okay.
I'm not just spinning my wheels.
Okay.
That there will be really more quick forward action than in the past, and I'll notice that.
Okay. Maybe let's stay with these more quick forward actions. What could be some of the effects of you doing it this way and noticing yourself doing it this way?
Things could get things that are kind of in the to-do pile could start to be done.
Oh, I see.
And some of the kind of petty daily things that are annoying would start to get done more quickly, so that some of our kind of bigger idea things can be pursued.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
And how would that be important and useful?
It would make me feel like we were moving in the direction that I think we all want to go.
And if you start feeling that you're moving in a direction, you get a sense of that. What might be some of the things that might happen later on if that's in place?
Well, we could find that our direction is the right direction to go, and that more people will come to us and support us.
Okay.
Or conversely, we could find that it's not the right direction to move, but we've given it our best shot, and we know that this isn't the thing to do. But at least I think we'll feel like we've tried. So
Right.
I think at this point, I don't feel like we've had that ability to try. So.
Okay. Right. Okay, so that's one thing. You said one of the other things that you might notice that morning is going to work with a different, looking forward to work. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you would start to discover that it's this way that you start, thinking about work and moving there?
I think I would remember the feelings that I had when I first started my job, and that
really?
that I was just always tickled that I was actually, I think, doing what I had always dreamed of doing.
Okay.
That on a daily basis I would be able to say, wow, this is great. This is what I do every day of my life. So.
Okay.
And not to dwell on the payroll taxes or things like that. The things that that everyone
needs to be done also,
that
right?
needs to be done. Right. Yeah.
So suppose morning after the miracle, you start out the day, with this tickling feeling, go to work. How would your colleagues maybe notice?
Well, they might notice because I might contact them more, and I might share more what was going on and share more information with them.
If you say more, how much more would it take so that they know, oh, now he's got this tickling feeling going?
I think I would take sharing some of the bad information along with some of the good information.
Okay.
So that I wasn't completely guarding them from the bad stuff.
Oh, okay. Any idea how they would react to that?
I think that they would react well, and they would probably want to help out and pitch into any of the bad stuff.
Oh, I see.
And I think we'd all realize that it wasn't that much of an issue once we got a lot of people involved in it.
You think it would be a big or a small? You call them more frequently and talk about both things.
I think it would be a small surprise and a relief.
And a relief.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what would be some of the things that you might hear them say, or some of their reactions that would tell you, oh obviously now they're somehow relieved?
Welcome back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice to have you
Okay.
going with us down the same path. Those
I
types
see.
of things.
Okay. I suppose they say something like this. What would your reaction be in consequence?
Well, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be
I
doing
see.
this, and this is great.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. If you think of the last couple of days or weeks, what could be signposts to you pointing your attention towards, you're moving towards this miracle?
A couple of letters that I wrote to people that I've been meaning to write for a long time, and but I wrote them and I put them in the mail, and I just couldn't wait any longer. So,
Okay.
Figuring out what plays we should perform in the next year, I finally made that decision
Okay.
in the last couple of days.
Okay.
And committing to hiring another person on my staff.
Really?
Yeah, that was a good signpost, I guess, in the last couple of days.
Okay. So there was these letters, the plan
Mhm.
for the plays, and hiring someone. Which one would you want to start with, to look at a little bit closer?
I think hiring someone.
Hiring someone.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, how did you manage to do that?
Well, I haven't yet, but
Yeah?
but I know that within the next 6 months I will hire.
Okay.
hire
And you've
someone.
taken the decision, right?
Yeah,
That's what you said is a signpost.
Right.
How did you manage to make this difference?
I convinced a group of people supporting me, my board of directors, that that they needed to support me in this idea, and they did support me, and they told me to pursue the idea with the individual that we're interested in working
okay.
for us, and to start pursuing how we might support this position.
Okay.
So we've begun all of those things. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you go about? Well, it's taking the decision and following it through, right? And you did that part
Right.
of convincing people. How did it all get started? How did you do it?
It all got started by me being overwhelmed by the amount of
really?
work that I had. Yeah.
Okay, here it comes.
Having too much on my shoulders, basically, and finally,
see. Of course.
spinning out of control,
Yeah.
basically, and having to go to a number of people and say, "I need help with this," so that we can move forward and not just spin our wheels. And I think maybe my spinning out of control convinced a lot of people
Okay.
that was a good idea.
Starting with you.
Yeah.
I mean, noticing.
Yeah,
Right.
me noticing it, yeah.
Oh, I see. So that's some of the things that you did and are not easy to do, and you decided somehow, yes,
Right.
now's the time. Sorry. Oh, okay. So I see. That's the hiring someone. Okay. You mentioned two other things. Getting the plan for next year and writing those letters. Which one would be a typical thing to look at that might have some important information for you on how you start managing to work towards this miracle already? So which one of the two you want to pick?
I guess picking the plays would be...
Picking the
yeah,
plays?
Yeah.
So tell me, what did you notice, or what do you remember yourself doing that are signs of you moving towards what you want?
Well, the first thing I noticed, in, I guess over several months, was that it was difficult for me to pick these plays.
Okay.
But during that, I also kind of remembered and noticed that it used to not be, that was a pretty easy thing for me to do.
Oh, okay.
And I think what I finally then came around to, that noticed, maybe something is changing, is that rather than picking 1 year of plays, I decided what I can do is pick 2 years. So it became a matter of that every play wasn't so important, that they were all good, and it was good to do them, but I didn't need to solve all of the world's problems with everything that I did.
Okay. If you were to single out the biggest relevant difference in how you moved into this decision that needed to be taken sooner or later, and it wasn't an easy one because you've noticed that, what was the single biggest difference that you somehow managed to to put into action, right?
I solicited information from my peers and input from my peers, and I took that in, but I went with my gut feeling.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I sometimes had to disregard what my peers told me, and committed to making my own decision.
Right. Oh, okay, I see. So you've been talking about some things that have happened recently that are like clear signs that you're on your road and on your way towards your goal. Any other things that come to your mind that happened recently that are showing, like tiny little pieces of the miracle already happen?
I was kind of strong in a negotiation with my landlord, and
Really?
yeah, and was able to improve some of the situations of my lease for the next few years.
Oh, okay. Which is probably important, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So somehow you managed to be strong in that. Almost sounds like he might have taken you seriously.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, then I guess I'm very curious. If I were to ask your landlord what he noticed about you that made it very clear and obvious to him that this is a guy to be taken seriously, what could he possibly have noticed?
That I was always waiting for information, and when I was told that it was to be given to me, I was right at his door.
Oh.
That I was persistent in what I wanted to accomplish, and didn't let anything slide. That I didn't give an inch until it was time to give a centimeter.
So that would be for him one sign of, hey, this is a guy to be taken more seriously. Other examples that come to your mind, little signs of this, parts of the miracle?
Clearly articulating what I want and what the direction of my company may be, even if it is a surprise to people.
Okay. And if you say clearly, how do you do that if you're clear and serious?
I guess I say, this is what we were, but this is what we're going to become.
Okay.
In very certain terms.
Yeah,
So,
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So you've described several things that are clear signs that you're moving towards more persistence, you're moving towards being taken seriously and taking yourself seriously with things that you do. So on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 meaning you got as far as you think you want to take things, and 0 meaning the total opposite, not there at all yet. So, where are you right now between 1 and 0?
Probably a 6.
A 6.
Yeah.
Okay, Jonathan. So that's 6. Tell me some of the differences between the 6 that you're at right now. My immediate reaction was almost to congratulate you on that. Can I do that?
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So that's 6, and what 1 or 0 was. How's it different?
I think at 1 or 0, I would just kind of take what was in front of me on a daily basis and not think of the greater scheme of my actions. I would dawdle a lot and procrastinate.
And so how is it different now that you're in 6?
That I know that every day I have an agenda that I want to accomplish by the end of the day, so that I can leave my day feeling like I've left my day.
Okay.
And I also am in a situation right now where I'm only in my office 3 days a week. So I work towards really leaving my office for 2 of those days, so I can so I can care for my child those other 2 days. And if I was at a 10, I think I would kind of start the day, end the day, and leave everything behind at my office.
Okay. So you're at a 6. If I were to ask your colleagues, and I don't know if they know about your task that you've given yourself to move into this direction, but suppose they knew and I were to ask them on the same scale, where would they say that you are at?
I think that they would agree that I'm probably at a 6 as well.
Yeah. And what would be some of the differences that they notice that they would point out to me as a clear sign of your being already at 6?
That I have been more forthcoming with them about information as it's come up. That I've expressed my thoughts on the direction that we should head. And that I've been kind of more frank with them about their involvement in all of our future plans.
Right.
So.
Sounds like a serious person.
Yeah.
I'm glad you still laugh about it.
Right.
Yeah? Okay. All right. I see. And there were some examples that we talked about. You said this process of hiring someone else and what you did in order to make that happen. On the same scale, where would that be?
Well, I think that's at a 6.
That's
too.
That's at a 6 too.
I'm at a pretty steady 6 right now.
Oh, okay. Okay. And the way how you went about deciding for the program for next year, making it longer term. Where's that on the scale?
That's probably at about an 8.
That's probably at an 8.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. And let's not talk about 10, but you say you're at a 6, and I'm curious, how would you know that you have moved from 6 to 7?
I would have more of a realization that there will always be more to be done, but I've done as much as I can in a given day.
Yeah.
I guess just more acceptance of the fact that I'll never be able to accomplish the full mountain of work that I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. I think at this time I'd like to take a short break. And unless there's something that I was too stupid to ask and it's important to discuss, and think about what you said,